Hey boys, this is a pre-recorded match on altai. We're playing against Ik TK 19, and yeah, he's playing English. So it's kind of one of our not favorite matchups is against the English, and yeah, we're gonna see if we can trade boom and kind of win this match out. And so what we decided to do is going to go with our keshik rush. Mangadai rush here is possible, but I just felt like it wasn't going to pay off if he goes for council hall or longbowman. It'd be really hard to convert that to some damage. We run up the middle here. We find some sheep. We dropped our scouting falcon, so we're going to pick up the sheep before we come back. If we look at our opponent, he's got a nice safe back gold spawn. So do we. We also have a safe stone. He has a forward stone. And he cuts across map with his scout and starts picking up sheep over here. He does miss a couple here and there. And we're cutting across over here. Looks like we're going to run into each other at the back of our base here. And if we look at the villager splits, he's doing a 7-2. I wonder if he's going to go 7-3 or an 8-3. Well, we're on a 7-1. We're going to go to 7-2. And we come over here, we see his scout, hoping to catch some info on his sheep. We don't see it, so we double back just to see how many he's picked up. We see 4, so that gives us an idea that he didn't get all of his back sheep. He probably got a halfway route. We pick up this extra sheep, we're going to drop them off and keep scouting. Our opponent is on a 7-2, and he's going on to deer. It's kind of interesting. He's going on to deer, so that might be a fast kind of a fast castle type of a play here. Could be a small indicator if you scout that early. Our deer patch is super forward, unfortunately, so we don't have great RNG there. But we are picking up these sheep over here, and we're going to finish scouting to the north. Our opponent has brought back his sheep, and he is also going to scout to the north. So it looks like we're going to run into each other. Sense that back manually. Okay, so a little bit unfortunate. He misses a couple sheep here in his base. Aging up, he's going to start tapping up with the council hall. He's super heavy on gold, which is pretty interesting. Don't know why you'd be 4 on gold. Maybe it's, I mean, it might be a fast castle play, but I feel like 4 on gold is really heavy. Now he's going 5 on the gold. Kind of a weird play. We're going to scout here. We try to double back. We were hoping if there would be a crossing over here, we could get a good little sneak in front of him. But the crossing's way down here. We had already spotted it as well, so just a bad move on my part trying to do this. I was hoping that there would be like an angle over here, but there wasn't. So basically, I just went into a dead end. And we are tapping up with the silver tree. The deer stones is nice, but the silver tree gives you such an immediate benefit for trade. A lot of people now are kind of seeing Mongol meta as basically the trade or tower rushes into trade. So not going silver tree, they're still expecting the market, so you're not really tricking anyone if you go for deer stones anymore. So going for silver tree is kind of nice at this stage of the meta. Our opponent is scouting over here. She's not getting any sheep, but he's going to get some intel. And we're going to go around the back here, and we're going to get some sheep and some intel as well. Yeah, if we switch views, yeah, he's going to see, he sees the silver tree going up, he sees the stable, so he knows everything in terms of our build, what he's going to get. He's going to get keshiks, he's going to get the trade going, and that's just kind of what it is. If we switch players here, this is what I see. I see 6 villagers on gold, which just indicates to me some sort of fast castle play. I mean, he's got his wheelbarrow tech coming through, but besides that, I don't know what he's going to get. So I was kind of confused there about that play. If we look at his scouting, kind of a curious route here he takes with his scout coming back like this. So I'm not really sure what that was. But yeah, that's kind of weird. I'm not sure why he was doing that. And we're just scouting around this side over here. Oh, if we see we gotta finish scouting this side over here. So we're gonna see what we can see. Try to get as much vision as we can. What's he doing? Okay, he's going here. And then what? Oh, he's just pushing the deer. So he's gonna push deer. So I mean, I guess it can be kind of. I mean, you're English, so you don't really need the sheep. So I guess it makes sense. Our first pair of keshik is out a little bit later than I would like. We were out about 4:50. I think we dropped our stable a little bit late here, so a little bit late there, but it's okay. Our keshiks are gonna come over. We're gonna start raiding. We're sending him to the front of his base. We don't have great vision. Excuse me, at the front of his base, but we do see the gold. Over here, our silver tree is moving and placing. We have picked up 6 more sheep, which is nice. We go up to 10 villagers onto food, and then we're going to rotate all of our villagers onto wood and kind of go from there. And yeah, we run into, and we see him building a wall here right when we come by. And so we're going to get a nice little raid here. Just get a little bit of damage, and this is the power you see of the English TC diving under it. It's really hard to. It's very painful, but we're getting idle time here, so I'm kind of happy about this. It's just hard to pull off getting effective damage here. We do have our scout here, unfortunately, a little bit of a misclick on my part, and we try to send him across to the gold to get an idea of what he's doing in terms of gold. I still assume that he's heavy on gold since he was so heavy previously. We have more keshiks on the way though, and we see his scout, and we're just gonna try to raid and get some damage in where we can. We know he's got 1 longbow out, so we want to just kind of hit him in waves of keshik so we can make sure we can get some damage in and not lose our troops at the same time. Our silver tree is producing, and we are getting some traders out now, and you can see the damage is really strong here from the TC and stuff. We're sending our con around the side here. We are picking up a couple more sheep on the way as well. We do have a villager. He's dropping an archery range, and then he's going to go drop a tower on the neutral market. And again, we want to raid here, but we know that he's on this wood line here, and we just have to be careful about how we do it. We do pick off a villager, which is nice, but you can see the destroyed value. He's been killing keshik, so he's getting a lot of value in terms of destroyed value, and we're just killing off villagers. But a little bit of eco damage, slow down the English boom is kind of what we want, and we're kind of happy with that, trading out units because we are booming behind this. Now we do drop a blacksmith as well, but it's a different villager from the one that's dropping the tower. And at this point, we know he's got a mass of longbows, but we weren't sure how many. And we see over here that we see 4. We're fine with diving into 4. We're trying to pick up this scout, but we have to be careful because once we're in this TC range, it's just it really shreds us. The English TC is really impressive to say the least. We did bring our con back to drop off the sheep to make sure we don't run out of sheep here. And yeah, let's just lift the fog of war real quick. And we're just going to keep rallying troops and try to set them up here. We do have a little bit of a mistake here where we have a stable producing and our archery range producing at the same time. And we are getting our +1 iron undermesh arrow defense. And we're going to come around the side here. We want to see how many villagers he has on gold. We assumed he's going for a fast castle because he was so heavy on gold, but we weren't 100% sure kind of what the play was. He's walled around here. Behind this, we're trading. We're up to 4 traders, so I'd like to have a little bit more at this point, but we're doing okay. And our con is kind of harassing over here, and we're just massing up our keshiks, and we're just kind of waiting for kind of a reaction over here on the gold. And once he pulls his longbows to start shooting us, we're going to push. We have no idea that this King's Palace is going up. We knew timing-wise it should be happening soon. But we weren't expecting it per se at this moment. When his longbows show up, we're going to go ahead and push with this mass, 7 keshiks and a mangadai, and we're going to pull our con back. He does unfortunately get sniped by these longbows. Would have been nice if he kept running because we would have drawn those longbows even further away from this castle play. But we do dive in here and we start getting some good kills here. So this is kind of the value that we really wanted to get earlier with these raids. And we picked off 5 villagers now. And I probably could have just all-in dived here and gotten even more kills. But again, it's just really withering under the TC here. And yeah, You can see our keshiks aren't in the best of health right now. He's waiting for us to push along this side, where we're kind of out of the way, and you can kind of push in. But we're just gonna dive again, and we're picking off more villagers here. And so we've got a decent amount of villager kills. We've gotten 7 villager kills. Behind this, we're trading, and we're just gonna go ahead and reserve, try to save our army here for that's counter push with these longbows as possible. A little bit unfortunate, we leave our scout here to get picked off. That was a really good vision that we lose. He does drop his scouting falcon right before he dies, but again, not necessarily ideal. And we know he's on castle. We know we've killed a bunch of villagers, and we're going to go ahead and try to raid around the back with these forces. We're going to rally new troops. We're dropping a couple more infrastructure buildings. We're going to have 4 infrastructure buildings to kind of support our army. And we're floating a bit of gold here, which isn't very good. And we do try to trade out gold throughout the match, if you can see here. We haven't started trading yet, but we will shortly. I want to be careful using up my gold and trading it out because the return rates aren't the best. And again, we're taking this army, and we're going to go raid around the back, harass as much as we can because we're expecting the forward push here. And he's just going mass archers, which is kind of weird in some sense, why he would go just mass archers. I guess, English is one says I guess you kind of can do this because they get into a really scary ball. But while he does this, we hit him around from the back, and we aren't able to pick a villager, unfortunately. It might have been worth committing to this. And he just immediately, on garrisons, he doesn't respect the raid. Again, in part, it's understandable because you have the English TC to kind of support you. We see this army here, and we do fall back. We are going to mass up troops right here to be able to fight this. And this is in part why we weren't too worried about taking these troops around the back. We're going to idle him off of gold, which is going to be really nice, and it's going to force him to go into longbows and spears, or horsemen. And yeah, it's nice to have this presence in the back. We know there's another gold over here to the side, so we will kind of rotate around there, try to find it. Again, our army is over here. We're dropping more infrastructure. We're going to go up to 5 stables now. And at this point, we don't see his longbows, and now we do. And there's this raid coming in. And yeah, again, a little bit late on the reaction. We lose a couple villagers, 3 villagers. But we are able to garrison. And then we're going to clean up this whole army. Behind this, we are checking the other gold node to make sure he's not on here. And he trades out basically this whole forward army. We lose, I believe, 1 keshik for all of these archers, which is a really good trade for us. Definitely a bad trade for him. And again, we're just running around. We're trying to find what we can. We do see there's a bunch of crossbows over onto these golds. And he's used up some of his resources here to do this. He's getting a monastery and a barrack. So this is a relic play. Since he's in castle and we aren't, he's going to go for relics. That's a smart play by him. And we're going to push forward and see what we can see. We want to get on. We knew that there was a wood line here. He might be chopping through. We weren't privy. I guess we were privy to the knowledge of this wood. But either way, we wanted to get up there and see what we could find in terms of raids. We do get a little bit of some kills here. Okay, a couple of villager kills, 3 villager kills. Okay, that's pretty nice. And getting this raid, we get 4 villager kills. Okay, so that's pretty nice. And behind this, he's taking an army to the back, and we're just going to fall back here. We lose a couple of cav, we lose a keshik and a horseman for 4 villagers. I like that trade. We do lose this army in the back, but his whole army is basically transferred to the back here. And at this point, we felt we were in a pretty good spot. We're up to 18 traders now, fully cranking out traders over here. We are transitioning onto pastures. We pulled villagers onto deer yet? No, we're still on these deer patches. Okay, so we're still finishing out this deer patch. We're not super heavy on to here, but behind that pressure that we do, we're going to tap up to altai. And we do have our forward army, we have our cons, we have vision, and we're just paying really good attention to see when he's going to push us. And we do notice that he's pushing us now. He's got 5 spearmen, 7 longbows, 5 crossbows. So we're just going to fall back. And if he's still pushing us, that's okay. We got a decent army. We can actually fight his army and probably win. But again, it's going to be a really close fight because he's got those 5 spearmen in there. So we really want to just sit under our altai, get this bonus, make sure we secure our castle age. Behind us, we're up to 3 ranges, 4 stables. So again, we're up to a really good amount of infrastructure, and he's really not. He's got 2. Okay, he's basically up to 4 infrastructure because of the council hall. Over here does pick off a villager, but we have an outpost. We do garrison. We send him right back to work because it's not really a push we're too worried about here. And we are getting our veteran keshik upgrade as well as a veteran Mangadai upgrade now. So we want to make sure we have castle age units to fight his castle age units. First and foremost, we have tons of gold. I don't know if we've been trading out our gold yet. We have been buying wood and food with our gold. So this has changed quite a bit. So we've been using our gold to get resources here, and we're keeping a villager gap, even though he's on 2TC here because of our silver trade. And he's actually doing a pretty good job closing this gap. We're idling our town center more than I would like. That's a little bit of a mistake on our part. We start to suffer on our food because we had kind of a weird transition point. We're getting Yam upgrade, Step Lancers upgrade, attack speed by 10%, health by +1, wedge rivets, so +1 arrow defense. He's gone really heavy into archery, so we really want to make sure we've got a good force to deal with this. He does have 7 spearmen in the center, so it's a pretty decent army at this point. We take kind of a forward position here. We want to be able to spot out our enemy, but we don't want to get caught out. We felt like army value-wise, like I didn't think I was actually ahead. I am on the screen, actually. I am ahead on army value. I really want to get my +2 arrow defense before I take a fight here. So we've got another 20 seconds here before it's ready. So we want to just avoid a fight, but we do want to be ready to take an engagement. We do drop a tower here on our TC. Just because we're running out of pop space. We pulled some of our villagers that were on deer over here. Oh no, these were villagers that were on gold. I pulled my villagers off of gold. I had 6 villagers on gold, so I pulled those off to make sure we get onto food here. We switch them onto deers and berries. We do drop a new ubi out here on the side as well. We got superior mobility once we aged up for the Kurultai. And we're just we're doing our best to get as much units out and producing constantly. We still are trading for resources, setting up our grid. We pulled those deer villagers over here to drop an outpost. Unfortunately, these guys were right in our blind spot, and we don't catch this transition here. Ecos have been equaled out because we've been idling our TC during that food part that we were starved. And he takes out a couple of villagers here, and we're just going to have to pull these villagers and garrison them. And he's trying to just like kind of do an all-in here, but we have a really good army to deal with this here. We have we drop our defense arrow, and we have our Kurultai is going to drop and give us some extra damage. But once those spears are gone, this army is not really going to be able to hold up to the keshiks. There's also traders here, so he's trying to pick off traders and do eco damage at the same time, but it's really not going to be enough to really change much. We're still on 24 traders, which is more than enough eco. If we look at our gold income per minute, we're at 1500. One good thing he is doing behind this is he's picking up all the relics. He's up to 2 relics, and he's going to go up to 3rd now. We pull these villagers back. They're going to go back onto here. And yeah, we're suffering for our food income pretty badly. We're at 1,000, and we're pretty on par with him. But we are floating a lot of gold, and we're looking to start trade as much as possible. But now that we'd wiped this army, we had felt pretty confident that we can take map control again. So we're pushing across to see what we can see. I just felt confident about map control because of his army being wiped. I knew that he's all infantry, so he can make a whole bunch of units again. But I felt like we were in a good spot to take this, and we do see that he's walling. He's trying to secure map control. We drop this. We see relics getting picked up. We did have a monastery out, and we sent a monk over here to go pick up a relic, but it's actually gone already. He does a really good job of picking up our relics before he picks up his own. So good play by him doing so, really securing this. But you can see score-wise, we're really pulled quite far ahead at this point. And army value-wise, we're way ahead. So he's kind of harassing us, keeping us from doing this. And one thing that we do a really good job of is once we recognized his big army, especially against England, we decided to get a siege workshop early. And this is something that I do a lot against England, or I forget to do a lot. I would say is I throw a lot against England because I don't throw up a siege workshop and get Manganaos out early. So here we are, we've got a Manganao out, and we can start really making our presence felt here. Eco-wise, he's pulled ahead. Because he's killed some units, but our silver tree is going again constant, and again, finally town center is up, and we got quite a few villagers queued up, so we're not going to run out of villagers here. We're getting our siege production going. We're getting another Mangano. We're going to a couple more stables. That puts us up to 6 stables. 6 stables, 5 ranges. So we have basically 12 siege production buildings. He's got 2 barracks, 3 barracks, 2 ranges, 3 ranges. So he's got 6 to our 11. So this is how, I mean, he's building infantry, so they do build faster, but you do have this amount of infrastructure to keep par with an infantry army. And you can see we do have 15 on wood, so we are cranking out a lot of wood production at this point. But we are rallying our villagers onto food to make sure we have enough army produced. I got plenty of gold, so we're trying to keep that going. Behind this, we did build a couple of mangonels, but now we're getting springolds. We know our opponent could react in his defense here by building springolds. He's got 1 in Q right now, and that's about it. So right now, army value odds, again, if we got the advantage, we could probably push in through the side here and raid. But again, those TCs, that bonus that they get is really strong. So we just wanted to secure this, slow pressure with our siege, and really secure the victory. Behind this, we couldn't pick up any relics, so we do decide to get our sacred sites going. With the monks, this one monk does kind of a meme. He wants to, like, I wanted him to send him across, and the way he's going to go across is like through the enemy base. So, oh, I didn't realize he walled over here. Okay, that was a good move by him. His villager got killed by a wolf, it looks like, though. But we have a really big army here. 30 keshiks, 15 mangadai, 2 mangoes. We do see the springold, so we're trying to get our mangoes back. We do get our mango back in time. And our springold is there, getting some shots off. We do drop our defense arrow to weather this a little bit better. We bring our mangoes up. Again, the key here is we want to get shots onto these archer masses. And you see we take out quite a few there. It's huge damage that we're able to get there. And fortunately we do use 1 mango. But again, it kind of did its worth. We're able to get our mango out in time, and he does lose both of his springolds. So that puts him in a really rough spot siege-wise. And we are building a villager here so we can drop forward production. And we can just kind of sit here. If he tries to push us, we have the army to really push him here and push him out. He tries to drop a forward tower on us, and we're going to go ahead and attack him and aggro him when it does that. Our base is kind of where it's at. We've been dropping pastures throughout here a little bit, and we just kind of push in here to close it out. You know, he tried to commit to something here, and he wasn't able to. So, yeah, that was a really good game. It felt like it went pretty good for us. In part, I feel like our opponent didn't play properly. In some instances, like, I don't know, the fast castle play and the way he was moving with his army felt a little bit weird. But yeah, he was a Conk 2 player. He's 1700 elo. And yeah, that put us up to Conqueror. So finally we are up to Conqueror. First time. We've been Conqueror elo since season 1. But now we're at Conqueror badge as well. And yeah, it's nice to finally get up there. And to try our strat and our gameplay against I guess higher level players. And yeah, that was a Conqueror 2 1600 1650 elo. So he's definitely one of our better players. So it felt nice to try out the strats and the gameplay style and have it work. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.